Hello, my name is Paola Oseda, and this opportunity with my classmate Idilia Castillo, Melissa Funes, and Edwin Bellis, we are going to talk about figurative language. Well, first let's define what is figurative language. Well, a figurative language it is a type of descriptive language where the meaning of the phrase is not to be taken literally or word for word. Well, the phrase has a deeper or more abstract meaning. In simple words, figurative language refers to words that mean something different than their literal meaning. Well, let's see the different types of figurative language. Well, we have simile. Simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind is used to make a description more emphatic. Well, in other words, simile is comparing two things using like or as. For example, as you can see in this example, and we are comparing two things using as brave as a lion. Well, the figurative meaning is as brave as a lion, and the literal meaning refers to a brave person or a brave man. And another example is crazy like a fox. In this example, we are comparing two things using like, crazy like a fox. And the literal meaning is refer to a crazy person. For example, if I say, my classmate is crazy like a frog, I say that is a crazy classmate. Well, another example of similes, we have as slow as a snake. It refers a slow person. And another is as easy as ABC. The literal meaning is when you refer well, this exam was easy. Well, another type of figurative language is metaphor. Well, metaphor is an imaginative way of describing something by referring to something else which is the same in a particular way. Well, in simple words, metaphor is comparing two different things. For example, in this, you are my sunshine. Well, in this case, the literal meaning about this figurative meaning is refer to a person, to a special person for him or for her. Another example is he is a walking encyclopedia. Well, it refers when a person is really smart or really intelligent. Well, we have another. Franklin has a heart of gold. It's referred when a person, in this case Franklin, has special feelings or good feelings about her or about another special person. Well, that was all from my part about this type of figurative language. Well, my classmate Edwin, and he's gonna continue explain us about the different kind of figurative language. So you can continue.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about personification. Personification is the figure of speech in which an idea or thing is given human attributes and or feelings, or is spoken of as if it were human. Personification is a common form of metaphor in which human characteristics are attributed to non-human things. Okay, there is a very explicit the concept of personification because it's easy to understand. So we can say in other words that personification is giving human characteristics to things or to an animal that obviously are not human. For example, we have the stars wind and me. As we know, the stars do not have eyes, so for that reason they can, I don't know, they can wink to someone. But it's a way to refer a star is when a star is blinking on the sky. Also, other example could be the lightning danced across the sky. Okay, as we know, the lightning doesn't have a feet, so for that reason they can't dance. But it's a way to refer when we see a lightning on the sky. Also, other example could be the clock alarm yelled at me to wake up early. Okay, as we know, the alarm doesn't have a mouth to yell or to speak to someone. So it's a way to refer when an alarm ring. And that's it for personification. It's so easy to understand if we think better than that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about onomatopoeia. Okay, onomatopoeia is defined as a word which imitates the natural sound of a thing, even of an animal, as you just heard. It creates a sound effect that mimics the thing described, making the description more expressive and interesting. Okay, that is so easy to understand too because basically it's a literal representation of a sound. We have some examples right here. In this picture, we have the word boom that represents maybe the sound that a bomb makes when it explodes. And also we have splat that is something like when something fall and splat on the on the floor. Also we have cries that maybe is the sound that represents it represents the sound that makes a crash. Also we have bang that it could be also a explosion or a detonation of a gun, a bullet. Also we have the representation of the sounds that animals do. Yeah, for example, when a dog is barking, we have maybe the sound of woof, that is sound onomatopoeia. Also the sound of a cat, meow, and the sound of a rooster, of a hen, uh, cuckoo, I don't know. And there are a lot of sounds also with also we have the Martin sound, for example, beep, beep, beep. That is when a car is in reverse, and there are a lot that I can't do. So that is a simple example. There are examples of onomatopoeia, and that's it. Thank you.
Hi there. Continuing with the topic, I'm going to talk about oxymeron. Oxymeron is a figure of speech that combines two normally contradictory terms. In a speech, oxymorons can lead a sense of humor, irony, or sarcasm. Examples: legally drunk, saying different. In simple words, oxymoron has an expression that contains words with opposite meaning, and the expression deliberate crafting to be contradictory, and the phrase that accidentally contains a contradiction, often as a result of a punit use of one or both words. At the most common oxymoron, it can be combined as a adjective plus a noun, and I'm going to give you some example with this structure. At Optimist tragedy, a poor millionaire. If you can see, there are a contradiction between this example. But in the same way, we have another structure that is noun plus a verb. And some examples are summer night and the silent whistle. It is important to mention that customers add beauty, colors, emphasis, exaggeration, exclamation, irony, and also luxury to the English language. Hyperbole is a figurative language technique where exaggeration is used to create a strong effect. With hyperbole, the notion of the speaker is really exaggerating to emphasize the point. So here we have some example. The puppy has very long ears, my long. I want to sleep 100 years. Hyperbole is a trope which involves deliberate and involves exaggeration along a particular scale. It is flexible with regard to how it can be expressed, allowing for degrees of exaggeration. Hyperbole usually treated as a minor trope which belong with one or the other of two dynamic figurative use of language, that is metaphor and irony. So the example, the puppy has very long ears, my long. The hyperbole is that the puppy could not have hairs as long as his smile. It means that the puppy has very long ears. And the other example, that is, I want to sleep 100 years. The hyperbole is that no one can sleep 100 years. In simple words, the actor is very tired and sleepy.
Hello, my name is Idilia and I'm going to continue with the next word. Allusion is a reference typically brief to a person, place, thing, event, or other literary work, with which the reader is presumably familiar. Well, in other words, is an expression designed to call something to mind without mentioning it explicitly. It could be an indirect or passive reference. For example, if someone asks, "Is there an Einstein in your physics class?" referring to Albert Einstein, and we already know who is him. He is a very important and popular physicist. Another example is, as you can see in the image, he is a real Romeo with the ladies, referring to Romeo and Juliet. But what happens if we don't know who Romeo is? The allusion will not be effective, therefore the sentence won't be understood, and the reader might be confused. Okay, to continue, what is idiom? Okay, it is a widely used saying or expression that contains a figurative meaning that is different from the phrase's literary meaning. As an example of this, you can judge a book by its cover. It means that we should not assume that we know something or someone based solely on its outward appearance. As you can see in the image, uh, not only because she is a little girl, it means that she is a good person, and the same with the man. Okay, another example is every coal has a silver lining. It means that good things come as a result of bad things. Okay, something important to mention is that these phrases are also unique to their original language, because if we translate these phrases into Spanish, it doesn't make sense. Now, imagery. This is an easy one. This refers to the descriptive language that allows a mental image to be created through the use of words or phrases that evoke the five senses and trigger emotional response. A clear example is her lips taste as sweet as sugar, as you can see in the image, and the night was black as ever, but bright stars light up the sky, like here. Okay, it doesn't need it doesn't need explication because it's pretty clear. And another example of this is when we said I want to eat mango with sal, lemon, and chili. We imagine it in our mouth water. Okay, that's was all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.